Wilson's loose. Zach Wilson's running. He's got all day. He stays in bounds. Zach Wilson caught it. Zach Wilson gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream, and good morning. We are live on the early morning here on Jets Media. It is 10:15 in the morning, and I woke up to some news. We got Mike Garafolo on Good Morning Football saying that the New York Jets and their owner, Woody Johnson, has a lot of money, and they're ready to spend it and be big-time spenders in this free agency, which begins in 2 days. So it's going to be pretty hectic on this YouTube channel for the next couple of weeks. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel and you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys get notified every time I go live, every time I have some breaking news, anytime I have some report or rumors to talk about, because I'm going to be very active on this channel, breaking down all the latest news coming out of the New York Jets when it comes to free agency. So in this one, you guys see the tweet from U Stadium. Make sure you guys give them a follow. They always report the best stuff about the New York Jets, and make sure you download their app as well. They're a great source for all NFL stuff, all sports really. So U Stadium, we all know them. Any Jets fan that's on Twitter knows U Stadium. So they came out with this a tweet, and they're the ones that really made me aware that Mike Garafolo said this morning on Good Morning Football, saying, quote, "The owner has a lot of money and they're ready to spend it on both sides of the ball." And he mentions Tyrann Mathieu as a fit. So obviously this does not mean that the New York Jets are guaranteed to get one, Tyrann Mathieu, and two, to spend all their money this offseason. But what this says to me is, you never know what's going to happen. I made a free agency preview video on my channel yesterday. And if you guys know me, I did say that I do not expect the Jets to actually be big spenders. I don't expect Joe Douglas to open up the bank for multiple players. But that does not mean that they're not going to open the bank for one player or two players and then supplement the roster elsewhere, because as you can tell, the Jets have $46.7 million in cap space. That's like fourth in the NFL or something around there. And they could free up more cap space with some cuts. We could cut Greg Van Roten. We could cut Ryan Griffin. There's a lot of guys pending on this roster that we're all anticipating the New York Jets to cut. So yeah, guys, in this stream, I want to break down this report, break down this news. Should we expect the New York Jets and Joe Douglas to actually be big spenders and be aggressive on the open market? And if so, who are the players that they're going to open up the bank for? Because we know that the Jets have money. We have the resources in order to do it. But the question is, are they actually going to? So this is just a rumor. I don't want you guys to get any false narrative saying that it's guaranteed that the Jets are going to be spending a lot of money. This is just a quote from Mike Garafolo, who works for the NFL Network, has a lot of really good sources, and he said this morning on Good Morning Football. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this as well. If you're watching this on replay, let me know down below in the comments, or if you're watching it right now live, let me know in the chat so we can get into a conversation about what we want to expect from the New York Jets heading into free agency, because Woody Johnson, he's the one with all the money, and the Jets do have a lot of money underneath the cap, so they do have the resources to spend big. Now, the big question is, if they spend big, who's it going to be on? Right? Who's it going to be on? Is it Tyrann Mathieu? Because Mike Garafolo did mention that. Is it DK Metcalf? Now, listen, we can't just spend big on DK Metcalf. We got to trade for DK Metcalf and then spend big on him. Is it Ryan Jensen, the number one center on the market? Is it J.C. Jackson, the number one corner on the market? Is it Carlton Davis, another great young corner on the market? Is it Bobby Wagner, who I saw a rumor that the Jets are interested in? There's a lot of guys hitting the open market that are definitely going to be getting a lot of big contracts. And the big question is it going to be the Jets that gives them this contract? So let's get into the chat. What's good, everybody? Go Jets. Thank you. DK and Honey Badger for Christmas. Would love that. Richie, great content. Love the show. Thank you, JT Mac. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Guys, we're just getting started here on the Jets Media live stream. If you did not already and you're just tuning in, make sure you smash that thumbs up button for your boy. We got just 10 likes with 40 of you guys tuning in. So smash that thumbs up button. We're just getting started on the Jets Media Morning Show. I'm really excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. So JJ has a question in the chat. Are you nervous we will pay to – sorry, let me reread that. Are you nervous we will have to pay a Jets tax or just get used? Well, that's a good question. The unfortunate thing about this is it is true the Jets do have to overpay for some players because we're not a winning organization. It's not like a team's going to pay, like, it's not like a free agent's going to take a pay cut to come play for the Jets because they believe that we're going to the Super Bowl like you see elsewhere. Like, a veteran's going to the LA Rams, for example. Those players, some of them take pay cuts because they're not in for the money anymore. They're at the point of their career where they just want to win it all. But for the Jets' sake of things, they kind of just want to go to the Jets because they are going to give them the most money. But at the same time, I don't think we've ever had that problem with Joe Douglas in the front office. That was mostly Mike McCagnon days, where any big team, any big market guy that would hit free agency would always call the Jets and ask for money, hence Le'Veon Bell. I think we all know why Le'Veon Bell came to the Jets. That's simply because of the money. So I don't think that this is going to be an issue for the Jets to get used by people just to get money. I think that we actually have something that's value that veterans would want to come towards, because there's nothing better than a veteran coming to an organization that we all know, and it's not a secret that the Jets have been in the gutter for the past decade. And there's nothing better than a player taking out a big contract, coming and reshaping the organization, bringing the organization out from the dirt and bringing them to the playoffs. That's what CJ Mosley's trying to do as a veteran on this team, trying to, galvanize the guy, try to recruit guys. Hell, we saw George Fant on Twitter last night, recruiting people, interacting with everybody on Jets Twitter, going into the Twitter spaces with Brooklyn Sack Exchange. It was really awesome to see George Fant go out there and be active on Jets Twitter. That was pretty dope. But I really feel like that the Jets have what it takes, financially speaking, to bring in some big fish. Now, the big question is, who's it going to be? Shout out to everybody just tuning in. Julio, good morning. Good morning. Tom, what's up, people? What's up? They need to fix free agency. Teams with high state taxes are at a disadvantage. The CBA, I don't know when it expires. We just got over the lockout for baseball. So hopefully whenever maybe they do fix that. I don't know. Richie, what's your thoughts of the Johnson's interest in purchasing another team? Will Johnson sell Jets? I hate this news, to be honest. I mean, if it does mean that they sell the Jets, sign me up. But if it means that Woody Johnson is going to buy Chelsea and own the Jets at the same time, that just makes me feel like all he cares about is money, which we all knew that. It's not a surprise that Woody Johnson only cares about money. But it kind of tells me that Woody's going to be trying to run two franchises at once, one on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean and one for the New York Jets. Like, if you're going to own one, sell the Jets, then go to Chelsea. We'll get Gary Vee to buy the Jets somehow. You know what I mean? Solid coach Bobby Wagner in Seattle. That would be an awesome pickup. Absolutely. Robert Saleh was with the Seattle Seahawks when they went to the Super Bowl. And I saw a rumor that the Jets are actually interested in Bobby Wagner. There's a scheme fit. He's a player that would bring a Super Bowl pedigree. Imagine the duo of CJ Mosley and Bobby Wagner. OMG. But the thing is, those are two veterans. I kind of want to bring in like a young guy alongside CJ Mosley to really have some for the youth. But at the same time, we need some dogs on defense. We need to go out there and take the ball away, get some stops, create Zach Wilson some time to get the ball back and not force Zach Wilson to fight from behind all the time. So, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're live here on Friday morning. And I never really go live this early in the morning, and it feels kind of good. If you guys want to see me go live more often, like at this time of day, let me know. But if you guys don't know already, I'll be live on Monday at noon all day long, breaking down all the free agency buzz around the NFL and, of course, the Jets free agency buzz. And then I'll be live all day Tuesday. And then Wednesday when the league the new league year officially begins. So a lot of great stuff is expected here on Jets Media. So, guys, if you're just tuning into the stream, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new. And if you hit that notification bell, it will notify you every time I post a video and every time I go live, so you never miss any Jets content, any Jets news. So if you want to get back into the report, I see a lot of people pouring in for the first time. U Stadium reported this, but it was from Mike Garafolo, who is from NFL Network. He was on Good Morning Football this morning, and he said that Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, has a lot of money, and they're ready to spend it on both sides of the ball, and he mentions Tyrann Mathieu as a fit. So now let's break down Tyrann Mathieu. After I take a sip of my Morning Joe out of my beautiful Jets cup, all right? So Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. So yesterday, we went out there and we signed two safeties. We signed Will Parks and LaMarcus Joyner. Those two are coming back. LaMarcus Joyner is a player that I'm happy we re-signed, because the safety position is, there's nobody on this roster that I feel confident about, to be honest. And to bring back LaMarcus Joyner, to run it back one more year, hopefully he can stay healthy. That's a big piece, because we needed a budget guy to be a veteran safety in the locker room, and LaMarcus Joyner fits that role. Will Parks is a player that we claimed off the waiver wire in the middle of the season last year. He had 2 games for the Jets, and he's a guy that's been in the league. He's 27 years old. He has a year under the system under his belt. So he's a guy that's maybe going to be fighting for a spot on the roster, maybe be a practice squad guy. So Will Parks is re-signed with the Jets. And now Tyrann Mathieu. I think the Jets are definitely going to be interested in spending a big-time money on a veteran safety, whether that's Tyrann Mathieu, whether that's Marcus Williams, whether that's Justin Reed. We will find out. But it's interesting to see that he said that Tyrann Mathieu is a fit for the Jets. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think Tyrann Mathieu makes sense for the Jets? Because what I want to see from the Jets when it comes to the safety position this offseason was sign a veteran that is a cheap deal, and that was LaMarcus Joyner. So that's already done. Sign a veteran on a big-time deal who is a big-time player, like a Marcus Williams, like a Tyrann Mathieu, like a Justin Reed. And then go out there in the draft and draft a safety in the 2nd or 3rd round. And hell, maybe Kyle Hamilton. You never know. I'm not going to get into the Kyle Hamilton talk because I don't want to get the chat all riled up. You know what I mean? So, and then that's what I want my safety room to look like. I want the safety room for the New York Jets to have LaMarcus Joyner as the vet on a cheap deal, 1-year deal, a big-time veteran that we brought in free agency, like a Tyrann Mathieu, like a Marcus Williams, and then we go out there and draft a safety like a Jalen Petrie, like a Jaquan Brisker, like a Lewis Seen, like a there's a lot of guys in the draft that we can honestly talk about. And I think free agency is going to really open up a lot of doors for the draft, where we're finally going to know where this New York Jets team is going to go in free agency. Where they're going to go in the draft. But that's really where I'm at with the Jets heading into free agency. Now let's get into the conversation of, do we expect him to be big-time spenders? Because we all know that Joe Douglas is not necessarily a big spender. But if the owners are going up to Joe Douglas and they're like, hey, we're ready. We want you to be aggressive. We want you to go out there and spend money on players that we feel like will make a big impact, and to go out there and try to make the playoffs this year. Now, I don't think that Joe Douglas is going to go all in and sacrifice the future of this franchise just to go all in to win it all this year. I don't think that's going to happen. Joe Douglas understands that this team is a lot of pieces away from being a Super Bowl contender, and I think every Jets fan knows that reality as well. But the good thing is that we do have resources. We do have players. So I feel like the New York Jets are in a really good position where they have cap space and they have draft capital. And that means that we have trade assets. We have assets that we can trade. We see all these crazy trades around the league. Khalil Mack just got traded to the LA Chargers for a 2nd-round pick or something like that. And that was a blockbuster move. We saw the Wentz trade. We saw the Russell Wilson trade. So now the New York Jets, it's time to make a trade. Joe Douglas said that he's open for business. Joe Douglas said he's willing to be aggressive on the trade market. And I feel like the Jets really got to be aggressive when it comes to the trade market, because we cannot rely on free agents to come. Just because Joe Douglas and Woody Johnson are willing to spend money, that does not mean that free agents want to come to the Jets. That's a big thing that I always have to remind everybody when it comes to free agency is we see a free agent that Jets fans fall in love with. He signs somewhere else, and he's like, what is Joe Douglas doing? What are the Jets doing? Why do they didn't sign him? Well, you ever think about that maybe that player had no interest in the Jets? You know what I mean? Like, it's 2 ways. You need 2 to tango. It's not just the Jets showing interest. The Jets can show interest in a player, and the player can say, no, thank you. I don't want to go to New York. I don't want to be on the Jets. So that's where I always remind people, like, you cannot always blame the Jets and blame the front office when they don't land a player, because that means that it could possibly mean that the Jets had interest and the player didn't want to come. So that's where I really want to get into, because what do the Jets have that is attracting to some free agents? Why are we an attractive destination? And I think, like I said, we're a young, upcoming team. We're in a big market, and if you win here, you're beloved. And that's really it. I feel like the Jets have been bad for a long time, and that's no secret, right, guys? No secret at all. And I feel like the Jets, if they want to be aggressive, they have the ammo to do it, baby. Let's go. Let's run it back. Let's get some contract predictions going. Who are we going to sign? What are the contracts going to look like? We got a lot to break down. Let me know in the chat, everybody. So we got Joe saying Tomlinson 11 mil, Reed $8.5 million. I could see that. Spend the money on the online. I guess you meant the O-line. Yes. I agree. Richie Reading, we are going after Atlanta linebacker Bosman and his safety and free agent. I would love the Atlanta linebacker, Foycade. Bring him to the Jets. Bring him to the Jets. So everybody in the chat, give me 5 players, or maybe not 5, that's a lot. Give me like 2 or 3 players that you want the New York Jets to target in free agency the most, and players that you want the Jets to be targeting and be super aggressive that you are seeing on the open market and you want the Jets to bring them in. Let me know in the chat right now. Give me 2 or 3 players. I just need to go blow my nose real quick. Let me know in the chat. I'm back. Don't worry. I ain't going anywhere. I'm right here. Just need to blow my nose really quick. My apologies, guys. All right, let's see what the chat's cooking up for me. Amari Cooper. Kirk Cousins? Max, you want Kirk Cousins? Or are you talking about another Kirk? J.C. Jackson or Carlton Davis? Marcus Williams, Bobby Wagner, Laken Tomlinson. Williams, Tomlinson, and Allen Robinson. Amari Cooper. J.C. Jackson, Amari Cooper. Williams. Would love Carlton Davis and Eric Reed. Allen Robinson would be awesome, but I can't see him having interest in New York. Jack's getting into some New York Mets talk. Oh, yeah, baby. I'll be making some Mets content as well today. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we got 80 people in here. And so smash that like button. We got 80 people in here. And smash that like button. Let's do it. With 30 likes. All right. Bobby Wagner would be huge. So let's get into a certain player that you guys want me to talk about. Let's talk about Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is an interesting player because he got cut by the Seattle Seahawks, or all of a sudden in a rebuilding mode. And there is obvious ties connected to him from Robert Saleh. And if we did sign Bobby Wagner, we would have CJ Mosley and Bobby Wagner as our 2 linebackers. 2 veterans that's been in the league for a while that are very good. And then we'll have the youth behind him in Quincy Williams. We'd have Jamian Sherwood and Hamza Nasruddin. That would be pretty ridiculous. Now, would you guys rather sign a Bobby Wagner for like a two-year deal, or a Foycade Olokun from the Falcons, who is a younger player that could potentially blossom into our future linebacker for years to come? See, that's where I don't know what I prefer to do. You feel me? Honey Badger would be our best sign if we got him. Yeah, I would love the Honey Badger. Like, I'm a big Tyrann Mathieu fan. I don't know the type of money he's looking to get. But I don't know, man. What do you think the money that Honey Badger's trying to get? And apparently the Jets have interest, or should I say Mike Garafolo has the Jets as a fit for them. There's a lot of players that are hitting the open market that are so interesting for the New York Jets. You can talk about the wide receiver position. You can talk about Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper potentially hitting the open market, DJ Chark, Christian Kirk. And obviously if you want to talk about the trade market, there's guys like DK Metcalf and Adam Thielen that's a potentially trade target. Guys that are already off the board, like Mike Williams got an extension with the LA Chargers. So there's a lot of people that are slowly getting off the table for the Jets targets, but there's still some guys available. Wade says, I'd sign Olokun. I feel like Wagner might go ship chasing. chip chasing, I'm assuming you meant. Yes, I agree. I rather go the Foyce Alakun route just because we have CJ as that veteran. It's not like we need two seasoned captain veterans on the same defense that play the same exact position. Trust me, I would not be upset if we get Bobby Wagner, but I feel like I'd rather go youth at that position next to CJ. Olakun makes way too much sense for the Jets. I really feel like they should be interested and give him a good contract, like a 3-year deal. For sure. I mean, he was a stud last year for the Atlanta Falcons. He's been a stud for them for years. So, guys, welcome into the stream. We just got under 100 people tuning in on this Friday morning. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. Whether you're just waking up, if you're just waking up and tuning in, welcome in. Or you've been up for a while and you're an early bird and you're just tuning in now. I appreciate having you guys in here and talking some Jets. So, the latest report that just came out this morning, Mike Garafolo from Good Morning Football from NFL Network says, quote, the owner has a lot of money and they're ready to spend it on both sides of the ball, mentions Tyrann Mathieu as a fit. So this is why I wanted to go live. I wanted to break down this report and talk about the hypothetical scenario of what if the Jets did go all in free agency and spend big time money? Who would it be? What are the players? If they wanted to, the New York Jets can solve this offensive line right now. They can just absolutely stack up this O-line in free agency, and we can go into the draft without worrying about getting an offensive lineman in round 1 or 2. We could do that by signing Ryan Jensen and signing James Daniels. Obviously, that means we'd have to cut Connor McGovern and cut GVR. But what that does is it brings two veterans, one veteran who is he's up there in age. He's 30, 31 years old. He's a rock. He's a player that plays through injuries. He's tough and a Super Bowl mindset in Ryan Jensen. And at the right guard spot, a guy in James Daniels who's young, upcoming, 24, only getting better. And all of a sudden, the O-line, Becton, AVT, Jensen, Daniels, Fant. Hey, man. That is pretty crazy that the Jets can solve the O-line right now. So the Jets are definitely going to have to be active on free agency market. I think we can all agree that Joe Douglas as a general manager has done a phenomenal job so far by acquiring assets in the trade market, by trading Jamal Adams and trading Sam Darnold. He's done a great job in the draft. Obviously, the first draft was not good. The second draft was phenomenal. But I think we can all agree that Joe Douglas as a GM in free agency, that's not been his best thing. He has not done a good job in free agency yet. And I do feel like injuries is a big part of it. Like last year, we did not get to see Carl Lawson play. We did not get to see Vinny Curry play. We did not get to see LaMarcus Joyner play. We did not get to see a lot of players play that we signed in free agency. So, first of all, Joe Douglas, can he just sign people that is durable, and will stay healthy? I mean, is that too much to ask? You know what I mean? That's just luck, or the Jets just understanding that some of these players are hitting the open market for a reason. So let's do it. Let's go out there and let's be aggressive. But at the same time, I don't want the Jets to be overly aggressive, which I'm not afraid of. I'm not scared that Joe Douglas is going to make a mistake and throw the bag at someone that he shouldn't have. And all of a sudden we're tied to a contract that's going to have dead cap money for the next 5 years, like Tremaine Johnson's contract, for example. I don't expect that to happen. But I do feel like the Jets are in a really good situation right now where they can easily go out there and make some big-time money, big-time moves. Let's do it, man. Damn, I forgot to turn on the music in the back. No one told me. No one's like, hey, Richie, where's that music in the back where you can just pop your head to? All right, let's get into the chat. What do you guys have to say? George wants the Jets to actually spend the money on a new stadium, preferably on Long Island somewhere. 100%, George. I'm right there with you, my man. I hate MetLife Stadium. I hate the commute to MetLife Stadium. Bring a stadium. A new stadium. MetLife stinks. Hey, I'm not falling into a losing mentality, my man. Let's build a super team. No. See, listen, this is where we fall into a trap. Let me just remind you, what did the Jets do 3 or 4 years ago when they tried to build a super team? They went out there and signed Le'Veon Bell. They went out there and signed CJ Mosley. They went out there and signed Tremaine Johnson. Those are 3 huge contracts. And they're trying to build a super team, try to build through free agency. What did that do? That set this franchise back. We have to have hindsight. We're not trying to go all in and win this year. We're trying to build a sustainable franchise that will be competing year in and year out. The way you build that is not through free agency. You do not try to build a super team. We're not the LA Rams right now, right? We're not a team that can sacrifice it. That's my approach, because if the Jets wanted to build a super team, they could go out there, they can sign Marcus Williams, they can sign J.C. Jackson, they can sign Ryan Jensen, and they can just go all in, and then all of a sudden, next offseason, we have no money to fill in the holes. Because if the New York Jets were 1 or 2 players away from making the playoffs, then yes, you go all in on a certain player. But we're not. We have gaping holes at tight end. We have a gaping hole at safety. We do not have a linebacker next to CJ. We do not have an edge rusher next to Carl Lawson. We do not have a number 1 receiver alongside Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. We do not have an interior offensive line, a right guard. Excuse me. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying the Jets should not be aggressive and try to go out there and bring in some dogs in free agency and let's go win some ball games next year. I don't want you guys to get my words twisted. I'm just saying the Jets' mindset right now is not to go all in and sacrifice all the cap that they have and sacrifice future flexibility just to go out there and get the big fish. That's not the Joe Douglas mindset, and I personally agree with it, because the mindset of the previous regimes was the complete polar opposite. We all know how that went. So, listen, I'm not saying the Jets are not going to try to win ball games this year, because they better. This is a season where if they start off like they did last year, 1-7, it's going to be a big time mistake. Should I say a big time disappointment? And there's going to be some jobs on the line. That's going to be a big time situation for the Jets, where if the 2021 draft class last year, if they develop and in year number 2, they all take a next step. Most importantly, Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker. If Elijah Moore stays healthy all season long, if Michael Carter is that number 1 running back that we've been waiting for, if Michael Carter II is that dog in the slot, if Bryce Hall takes that next step in year 3, those guys that I just mentioned are part of the future. And let me not forget, I think the most underrated player on this Jets team, I have a player on this Jets team, and I think he's the most underrated player on the roster. I'm curious if you guys can guess who I'm talking about, because some of you guys would say he's not underrated, he's overrated. I think he's underrated. And I'm excited to see what he can do this year. And I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to see if you guys agree with me. A good GM spends on free agency if he is confident on how he drafts. So Joe Douglas does spend on free agents. Last year, we spent the 4th most cap in the league. So it's not like Joe Douglas doesn't spend money, but what he does is he spends money on players with cap-friendly deals. And instead of going for the tier A guys like a J.C. Jackson, that's going to be asking for $20+ million per year. There's a big difference there. A good general manager spends on free agency, which what Joe Douglas is doing, and is confident in how he drafts. So let's hope that he does. You guys are onto it. Close. Well, my underrated player was more like a duo, and it is Quinnen and John Franklin Myers. I have a feeling that John Franklin Myers and Quinnen Williams are going to unleash on the NFL this year. I feel like them both, Quinnen Williams and John Franklin Myers, kick it inside, getting an edge rusher, let's hope, in the offseason, whether that's in free agency or the draft. We don't know yet. I feel like both Quinnen Williams and John Franklin Myers are going to be legit this year, especially Quinnen Williams. Especially Q, who we picked up the 5th-year option, which I love. Joe is always going for the cheap. He has to be more risk assertive. Hey, man, Jay, you got to remember, he wasn't cheap with Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson, $15 million per year, 3-year, $45 million. That's a pretty good contract. He risked. He made a big risk. And unfortunately for Joe Douglas, the risk did not pay off in year 1. It could pay off in year 2, as we hope. He did pay Corey Davis $12.5 million per year. So it's not like he's not spending money and risking on it. But I understand what you guys are saying. You want him to be more aggressive. You want him to be this. And this is what this report's saying, guys. According to Mike Garafolo, that the Jets have money and they're willing to spend it. And that's why I'm live. Because if this is the case, then all of a sudden this man right here is going to be handing out money. A healthy Carl Lawson and KT/Johnson makes Q and JFM more elite and poised to have an explosion season. George, you're seeing the vision, my guy. You see the vision. Listen, this is all I want. I want Carl Lawson to be healthy, and I want a first-round edge rusher, preferably Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson, like you said, George. And then John Franklin Myers, Quinnen Williams. Inside, we have the starting 4, Carl Lawson, JFM, Quinnen, and Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson. Sign me up for that D-line, bro. Sign me up. Will absolutely love that. Douglas' first offseason, the team was so shitty, there was no point in spending on free agents. Well, he didn't really spend a lot of money on free agents in his first year. He signed George Fant, who I think is the most underrated free agent signing for Joe Douglas. He signed Connor McGovern, which is a big piece of this Jets offensive line. And he signed Greg Van Roten, and then all the rest of them were 1-year deals. So it's not like he, when in free agency, you like have to spend money. Like every team has to supplement the roster. Like when you have pending free agents like a Berrios, like a Foley, like all these guys, they're walking. We need to replace them, and that's how you do it. We need to take some of this draft capital and force a trade with Seattle for DK. Give them first this year and next year. If we don't make the move, Zach doesn't have a number 1 rank. I love DK Metcalf, and I want him on the Jets desperately, but the Jets should not give up 2 first-round picks for him, in my opinion. Trust me, I'm one of the biggest DK guys that you'll talk to, but if you're telling me we have to give up the 10th pick and next year's first, I'm out, because that's a little overkill. Plus, you would have to pay him like $20 million per year on top of that. Jose wants to go trenches. Davis at 4, Walker at 10, keeping the Georgia Bulldogs together. Oh, and he gets seen. You're going all Georgia. Are you a Georgia fan? I hope we get McBride in the draft. You and me both. That's my draft crush. How did Lawson and Davis work out? Big price, free agent rarely work. How did T. Johnson and Le'Veon Bell work out? You got to build through the draft. Exactly. You build through the draft. That's really what it's all about, guys. That is what it's all about. But at the same time, good teams in the league hit on free agents. And you also have to realize that some of these players hit in the open market are on the open market for a reason. You know, that's something that we have to remember is sometimes a player that slips through and the team doesn't want to re-sign them. Some reasons is because they can't afford them, which is very, very, likely. But other times it is because they just don't want to re-sign them. And maybe there's a reason behind that. I think GVR needs to go. Anytime a center throws a rookie quarterback under the bus, that's never a good thing. Yeah, I'm with you. Get GVR off the squad. Get GVR off the squad. Guys, we got over 120 people tuning into the stream. If you're just tuning in and you did not hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate that. We got 47 likes. Let's get this to 75 likes is the next goal for your boy. Make sure you run up that like button. I really do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider it. I got a lot of Jets content coming your way all throughout free agency, of course, leading into the draft. We got a lot of fun stuff coming your way, baby. Let's do it. Woo! Keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much, Jets NY 102. I appreciate you. Why not draft a tackle at 4 just to move that person to right guard? Better off signing a good right guard in free agency and fill other holes in the draft. Yeah, I think the tackle spot at 4 or the offensive line at 4 is a conversation that could very quickly be negated by free agency. Hey, Jets NY 102 with the generous $5 donation. Thank you so much, my man. I really do appreciate the support. This goes a long way on the channel. So Donald hype in the chat for Jets NY 102. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work, man. That really does mean a lot. Been trying to keep the grind, trying to keep up with the Jets media content as much as I can. I see that you're a Mets fan as well. Let's go, baby. We're back. Baseball is back. I also have a Mets YouTube channel that's going to be starting getting active shortly. I feel like whenever the Mets make a move in free agency is going to be when I make my video on the Mets. It's been months since I made a video on the Mets because of the lockout, obviously. So I'm excited to get back into that. I missed the beginning of the stream. What are your thoughts on Mathieu? So, yeah, as you can see from the report here, Mike Garafolo says that Tyrann Mathieu is a potential fit for the New York Jets. Now, I do expect the Jets to be active on the safety market. We did re-sign 2 safeties already in Will Parks and LaMarcus Joyner. And I do expect him to not be done and go out there and sign another veteran that is a little more on the pricier side. So Tyrann Mathieu fits the mold. And I'm honestly a huge fan of him. I don't even know how old he is. How old is he? Let's see. Tyrann Mathieu, he is 29, about to be 30 years old. Hey, he's not that old. Let's bring him in, man. This is a player that has been elite everywhere he goes. And I feel like he would hold down that secondary. And just imagine pairing up Tyrann Mathieu with a rookie safety like a Jalen Petrie or a Lewis Seen or Jaquan Brisker or someone later on in the draft like a Brian Cook or something. Like, that's my dream safety tandem. A big-time free agent, a rookie, LaMarcus Joyner as a depth piece. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Yeah, man, hit the like button. Appreciate that. So, yeah, guys, I'm enjoying this live stream. Expect so many live streams coming. I know I keep saying it, but buckle up. Buckle up. It's about to get crazy over here. Let's see. What should I talk about now? Is there any topics you guys want me to talk about? Love the live stream. Thank you, George. Appreciate you, my man. I believe if we get this draft right this year, we are going to the playoffs. As bad as I want a wide receiver at number 10, I think we should draft Sauce Gardner and a lineman at 4. Now, the problem with this is it is not guaranteed that Sauce Gardner is even available at number 10. It's possible. Players have fell before. But I think if you want Sauce Gardner that badly, and if you're the New York Jets, you roll the dice and you take him at 4. You don't sacrifice him getting drafted between 5 and 9 because he's that elite of a player. And I think he has a really good shot of getting drafted before number 10. And I'm a huge Sauce Gardner guy. I feel like that would lock down our secondary forever. Like, if we draft Sauce Gardner, all of a sudden we have Gardner and Bryce Hall as our 2 outside corners, with Brendan Eccles as depth and Michael Carter II as a slot guy. And all of a sudden we have a deep, really youthful, fun, young quarterback room. Give me Sauce. I know you mentioned Olokun and Jordan Hicks, but how about Jaden Brown, Hightower, or Van Der Esch at linebacker? Also, would you trade a fourth rounder for Devin Bush or trade for Eric Kendricks? So, yeah, obviously, Shane, there is a lot of linebackers available for the New York Jets that I did not mention. And you brought up a lot of players that the New York Jets should definitely be looking out for. It's a big hole. We have CJ Mosley, who's coming off a phenomenal individual season for the Jets. And you mentioned a lot of good players. I think Jaden Brown fits the mold, Hightower, Van Der Esch for sure, and a fourth rounder on Devin Bush for trade. So, listen, I feel like the Jets are going to be aggressive for the linebacker room, and I just don't know if they're going to go the veteran route, like a Jordan Hicks, or a younger route, like a Olokun, or another veteran, like a Hightower. We'll see, man. You brought up a lot of interesting names, Shane. I like that. Legit edges. Uh-oh, we got a Patriots fan in the chat. Patriots gang, Patriots nation. Shout out to Delusional Patriots fan. Welcome in. What's up, brother? Gotta go get Wagner. Just joined, so I don't know if you discussed him yet. What up, Jack? Welcome into the stream. I appreciate having you here. And yeah, we did mention Bobby Wagner already in the stream. There is a rumor that the Jets are linked to him, and we know why. Robert Saleh and Bobby Wagner go back. And when Robert Saleh was on the Seattle Seahawks, Bobby Wagner was drafted. And so, yeah, the ties are there. But for me, I just don't know if Bobby Wagner makes sense for the Jets just because we already have a team captain at the linebacker spot in CJ Mosley. So I don't know if the Jets are going to try to go youthful there and bring in a guy next to CJ that's like an Olokun type of player, or just double down and have two of the, if we get Bobby Wagner, we might have one of the two best veteran linebackers in the NFL together. And I'm down for that. Nothing wrong with two captains. Jets NY 102 with another generous super chat to $2 dono. Thank you so much. The playoff drought will end this year. My man Jets NY 102 is coming in here with the hot takes. Who agrees with this man? Who disagrees? Let's hear it. NY Jets Superfan says, I don't think anyone from 5 to 9 will draft Sauce. Giants are going to O-lineman, Carr O-line, Atlanta DN, or wide receiver, Seattle QB. Now, listen, I think the big thing is the Giants could be drafting Gardner, especially if they are out on Bradbury, which they have not discussed yet, but we'll see. Do the Jets have any interest in Andy Isabella? I think the only way the Jets would have interest in him is if Braxton Berrios walks in free agency, which is very likely, which I really hope does not happen. Braxton Berrios, you better not go anywhere. You better not go anywhere, Braxton. You're my guy, okay? You're my guy. Reed from Houston. Yes, he is another player that the Jets will be looking out for on the safety market. The one problem I have with him is he is very known to missing a lot of tackles. And the Jets, we gave up so many. We were last in the league in a lot of categories defensively, especially when it comes to stopping the run. The last thing we need is a safety that can't tackle. But hey, I wouldn't be upset with this move. He's really good in coverage, so it's not like he's just a terrible player. I like Justin Reed. But I think there's better options on the board. We'll see. Berrios, 3 years, $6 million. You mean $6 million per year, right? Because 3 years, $6 million total would not get it done. Oh yeah, you said it, $6 million per year. Yeah, Jack. I feel like this is the year-round the contract that the Jets are going to offer, whether it's $6 million or 6.5, and then Braxton Berrios has that on the table, and he's going into the free agency market next week to see what teams are going to offer him, to see what happens. Need to re-sign Foley too. That's a player I do not expect to return to the New York Jets. I think he's going to get paid elsewhere. We'll see. I think this is a perfect guy that Gary just brought up to replace Foley Fatukasi in DJ Jones. He's a player from the San Francisco 49ers, played for Robert Saleh, and he's a run stopper, just like Foley Fatukasi was. So I'm all on the DJ Jones train, man. Sign me up. And I just feel like that people need to realize that the defensive line might be a little more of a need than people might think. Because people look at the top of the depth chart, John Franklin Myers, Quinton Williams, Carl Lawson, and we need 8 guys in the rotation. You know what I mean? We need a safety that can tackle, hence why I have zero interest in Tyrann Mathieu. He avoids contact like a... Oh! All right, Hawk. Say it with your chest. I see you, man. Still have Hamza and Sherwood. That's the linebacker's youth. Grab Wagner for more experience and leadership. Yeah, this is a good take, George. I agree. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about these two rookies going into year number 2. Unfortunately for Sherwood, he was getting a lot of playing time, and he had to tear his Achilles, and then Hamza was more of that special teams guy. So if they can develop Hamza and Sherwood to be big-time players, let's do it. Correction with another generous donation from my guy. Playoffs if we can cover the screen. Wow. Man, oh man, is this going to be a big talk for the Jets going into the season? How the hell are we going to defend the screen? Now, this scheme that we run with Ulbrich and Salah, it's known to not be able to, like, the kryptonite of it is screens, which is why so many teams run screens against us. So it'll be very interesting to see if we make any sort of adjustments, because we're such an attacking front where we attack the quarterback that opens up a free runner for the running back for a screen pass. I agree. The big names Jets can sign this year is an O-line. We were ranked 11th last year. I agree. I think if Joe Douglas is going to be a big spender, I have a feeling it's going to be on the trenches, and it's going to be on the offensive line, and potentially a defensive lineman. I don't think he's going to open up the bank for anything else besides that, if I had to guess. There's not really a tight end out on the market that's willing to get paid big money because Dalton Schultz got tagged. I don't think he's going to open up the bank big time for a wide receiver. Obviously, we're all talking about Amari Cooper. We're talking about Allen Robinson. Those are the 2 big market guys that are potentially available. Well, Allen Robinson is available. Amari Cooper we'll have to see. And safety is another position that I feel like Joe Douglas can be opening the bank for. And a position I do not expect the Jets to open the bank for is the corners. I do not think that J.C. Jackson will be a Jet. I don't know if Carlton Davis will be a Jet because of the money he's looking to get as well. If you look at Spock Track and the contract prediction for Carlton Davis kind of scared me away. He's looking at around $19 million per year. I don't know about that. I'd rather get Sauce Gardner if I'm the Jets. You feel me? As a fan base, we got to stop pretending Kayvon has fallen to 4, Johnson or Karlaftis at 10. Yeah, man, I think if there's one position that I don't care. No, let me reword this. If there's one position that I want the New York Jets to make sure that they draft in the first round, whether it's at 4 or 10, it is edge rusher. 100%. Edge rusher. If KT's not there at 4, then you go and draft Jermaine Johnson or Trayvon Walker at 10. Or Karlaftis. I'm not the biggest Karlaftis guy. I prefer Trayvon Walker and Johnson and maybe even a Jabo, but I wouldn't be mad at Karlaftis. George, you're the man. I'm not the man. You are. Davis and Scene screen stopper. Yeah, man. I feel like the Jets definitely need to get some bodies on the defense to stop those screens. Jose, I appreciate the $2 donation. It means a lot to the channel. Goes a long way. Appreciate the dono, my man. Hype in the chat for Jose. Let's do it. Cheers. Drinking some morning coffee. We got a report that the Jets owner has a lot of money and they are ready to spend it from Mike Garafolo. We're live here on Friday morning. What is it? It's the 11th already. March 11th. My birthday's coming up. I'm turning 24, guys. April 1st. 2 weeks from today, actually. No, not 2. 1, 2, 3 weeks from today. Your boy's a 24-year-old. What do you guys just say? What? You're turning 24? I thought you were like 16. Not 16, guys, okay? Why do you gotta joke around like that, okay? What the hell? Do I really look that young to you? Damn. I guess it will help me out when I'm older. When I look younger, but hey. Oh my God, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. Next week, guys. Free agency's next week. Next week. Not even next week. 2 days. Monday It's going to be a free agent frenzy on Jets Media. It's going to be a free agent frenzy on Jets Media on Monday. I'll be live at noon. Maybe I should go live before noon. Should I do a record-breaking stream? And when I say record-breaking, I mean my own record for how long I go. Should I do it all day? Like a 6-hour stream? Who would tune in? Huh? Who's tuning into that? Grown-ass man. You already know, Joey. Jensen would be a great addition. I agree. If Mims is still on the team and puts it all together in 2022, watch out. We would not even be considering a wide receiver in the first round if Mims was legit last season. This is very true, and it's very unfortunate that Mims did not step up. Very true. If we trade for an edge, let's say Daniel Hunter, we could just go O-line or sauce at 4, then potentially wide receiver at 10. Yeah, the fun thing about free agency, guys, is we can finally have an idea of what the hell this Jets team is going to do in the draft. Because right now we're like, oh, if we do this in free agency, then we can get this guy in the draft. But if we do this in free agency, we can get that guy in the draft. So I'm excited to finally know the approach. Because all of a sudden, the draft might be like really obvious. You know what I mean? In terms of where we're going to go at number 4 and 10. Like, say we do not get a wide receiver in free agency or the trade market leading up to the draft, then I think that wide receiver at 10 is going to be very likely. If we do not get a corner in free agency, I think Sauce Gardner will be on the table. If we do not sign an edge, then I think edge rusher will be on the table. If we sign offensive line depth, if we get James Daniels, I don't think Aquanu's on the table anymore. Unless you really just want to sign Aquanu and play him, I don't know where, but I love Aquanu. See, my thing with Aquanu is George Fant, he's entering the last year of his contract, and I would love Aquanu and Becton to be the long-term answer at the tackle spot. But we'll see. You look like a younger Adam Sandler. LOL, but happy birthday, man. Who's our wide receiver in this draft class? A young Adam Sandler. Yeah, I've got Adam Sandler. I've gotten a young Sylvester Stallone. I've got a lot of different people from you guys in the chat. It's pretty funny to hear who you guys think I look like. I've gotten Jerry Seinfeld in one. I was like, I'm not Jerry Seinfeld. I love Jerry Seinfeld, though. My wide receiver in this draft class that I love, I still am a big fan of Treylon Burks, even though he did not light up the combine like I expected. Garrett Wilson, of course, I would love. Christian Watson, I feel like would be a big-time piece. Dotson, if you want speed. Mechie is a player that slept on. There's a lot of guys in the draft. And then Calvin Austin, the third, later on in the draft, if you want to replace Braxton Berrios if he walks. Round 2 is the best time to draft wide receivers. Debo, DK, AJ, all second rounders. Do you know who else was a second rounder? You know who else was a second rounder? I'll give you a hint. That guy was a second round wide receiver. And he's ours. He's not on the team. He's not over there balling out. Why can't we get one of those guys? Do you have any idea how many times I've looked around the NFL and I see all of these playmakers getting drafted in the second or third round on all these other teams and are dynamic? And I'm like, why can't the Jets ever draft a player as a playmaker, as a wide receiver or a running back late in the draft and develop into a beast? Like, why is it never us? Well, guess what? It finally happened. Elijah Moore, second round. Michael Carter, fourth round. The same draft class. 2 potential stars. The 2 players that will be on this Jets team and taking this offense to the next level for years to come. Yeah, sure, I said it. Hearing rumblings that there's interest on both sides for Saquon Barkley. Considering he's a Jets fan, it's fair to assume he will be brought in if we sign him. Well, Saquon is entering the last year of his contract, so we cannot sign Saquon. We would have to trade for him. And if we got Saquon Barkley, I don't know, man. A 1-2 punch of Carter and Barkley. See, the cool thing about this idea is we don't really need Barkley. It's not like we have a big hole at running back. We just have a hole that will complement Carter. So, I don't know. I feel like Saquon would take away the development of Carter, but at the same time, if Saquon's healthy and he needs a new system and he needs a new, like, fresh organization and not go anywhere, stays in New York with the Jets. He grew up a Jets fan, idolized Curtis Martin. All of a sudden, the Jets can have the best, one of the best two running backs in the league if Michael Carter continues that. I don't know how I feel about Saquon because he's very injury prone, and I'd rather not give up capital for him. If anything, wait till next year, see if he it hits the open market. Judging by the track record of Joe Douglas, I don't see him giving $15 million contracts to safety Marcus Williams and paying $20 million to DK Metcalf, especially at this stage in the rebuild. I agree with this take rise of the New York Jets. I agree. I think Joe Douglas is not going to do that unless he really wants to prioritize Zach Wilson's development. Because another thing we have to realize is Zach Wilson is on his rookie contract. He's entering year number 2. And if the Jets want to build around their rookie quarterback, now's the time. You see what the Chargers just did with Justin Herbert on their rookie contract. He's entering year 3. They're going all in. They just traded for Khalil Mack. And they just re-signed Mike Williams. So they're making moves for their young franchise quarterback, but they know that Justin Herbert's a stud. We're still hoping and waiting to see Zach Wilson take that step in year number 2. Hey, I have a totally off-topic question, but seeing you're such a fan, I like your opinion. How many times did you see Jets receivers slip and fall last season? Shoe management. A lot. Corey Davis slipped. Keelan Cole. Too many times. That makes me want to cry to think about that because I remember this. At least you didn't draft N'Keal Harry. It's funny because I actually really loved N'Keal Harry coming out of the draft. And when the Patriots drafted him, I was like, damn it, they got a stud. I was wrong. He's not a stud. Sorry, man. Why did Elijah Moore slip? Was something negative on him? No, man. Elijah Moore slipped because that's a reality of the draft. And that's what's so awesome about the Jets having 2 second-round picks so early is because players slide. So many things happen in the draft that nobody expects. And there's going to be players sliding to us. There's going to be a first-round talent that slides to us at 35. And we're going to be like, oh my gosh. And we're going to draft him. It happens every year. And Elijah Moore was one of them. The cool thing about Elijah Moore that you guys know already, that I've mentioned over and over again previously, is if the Jets did not move up from 23 to get Elijah Vera Tucker, say, for example, the Vikings didn't want to do that trade and they actually drafted AVT, and the Jets stayed put at 23, the Jets were considering drafting Elijah Moore at 23 in the first round. And they were still able to get their guy at 34. Woo! That tells you how high Elijah Moore was in their list. And on that same topic, the Jets traded 2 of their third-round picks to move up for AVT, and they said that if they did not do that trade, they would have drafted Michael Carter with the first pick in the 3rd round. But they didn't need to. They got Michael Carter in the 4th round. Players slide, man. Players slip. We got to make sure that we get some dogs. Richie, watch some Notre Dame games. Come on, man. Hamilton is a beast. Trust me, I love Hamilton, and I have an uncle who is a big Notre Dame fan, and he keeps telling me, and he's a Giants fan, that how much of a beast Kyle Hamilton is. And I'm a huge Kyle Hamilton guy. There was at one point where I got lost in his film, and I'm like, wow, I want him on the Jets. Like, trust me. I know a lot about him. He's a beast. I just don't know if the Jets can afford taking him at 4, man. I really don't. Trade Corey Davis and a 3rd-round pick for DK Metcalf. This would not get it done, unfortunately. If this was realistic, I'd say, yeah, 100%. Let's do it. But this will not get it done. Would have been nice to see Vinny Curry and Lawson together last year. Played Pop Warner with Curry in Jersey. Dedicated baller. That's sick. You play Pop Warner ball with Curry. That's pretty dope. That is really cool. Glad you noticed all the slips 8 fell on almost every route. I sent him a message on Twitter, and I think he took my advice. Who did you send that? Who did you message on Twitter about that? Let's see. So, if I'm the New York Jets, I'm aggressive in free agency. I put in my bids, and I bring in some dogs, right? And then go into the draft, and then fill in this roster. I also want a lot of rookies to play big time, have big time playing time next year, because this past year's draft class, the reason why we're so excited about the 2021 draft class, we're so excited about all these players from last year's draft class, is because we gave them an opportunity to play. Zach Wilson starting quarterback as a rookie. Elijah Vera Tucker starting left guard as a rookie. Elijah Moore starting wide receiver as a rookie. Michael Carter starting running back as a rookie. Brennan Eccles starting cornerback as a rookie. Michael Carter the second starting slot corner as a rookie. We gave the rookies an opportunity to play. Now, all these rookies we're about to bring in, I want them to start. I want a starting tight end. I want Trey McBride as a starting tight end. I want a starting edge rusher. I want a starting safety. I want a starting corner, even though I love Brennan Eccles. I want a starting linebacker maybe, but we still got to supplement it through the free agency as well. Yo, Richie, what's your major? I graduated college like 3 years ago. Is it 3 years now? No, 2 years. I'm getting ahead of myself. But I graduated college with a degree in journalism and broadcasting with a concentration in media production and a minor in film studies. So that's my degree, bachelor's degree, if you were wondering. But yeah, I graduated college 2 years ago. 2020 is when I graduated, the year of the pandemic. And the crazy thing is, fun little fact about me, guys, without the pandemic, I don't know if Jets Media would be a thing, because the pandemic is what forced me to sit in the studio right here and just go to work, because I couldn't get a job out of college. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do with my time. I'm just going to start making Jets videos. And here I am 2 years later. I went to college upstate New York. It's a small SUNY school. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's called Brockport, SUNY Brockport. It's all the way upstate. It's at Buffalo Bills territory. So I was surrounded by Bills fans. I went to 4 straight Bills-Jets games in Buffalo that year. 4 straight years in Buffalo going to Jets games. And I was the guy that was debating a house for Sam Darnold being better than Josh Allen. I would go to the bars with a Sam Darnold jersey, ready to get into some fights with Josh Allen and Bills fans, and now I look like the idiot. I'm the idiot for defending Sam over Josh Allen. Damn it. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Let's see. Have I ever considered going to law school? I have not. Who's the number one free agent you want to sign? Who's the number one player you want to draft? Number one free agent I want to sign? Good question. I would love James Daniels, even though it's not a flashy guy. I just feel like he would be a plug and play at right guard immediately. I would also, there's a lot of free agents, but that's the number one guy I would like. In the draft, I would love Sauce Gardner, man, or Trey McBride. I got a lot of people I love, as you can tell. How's the Buffalo wings? Ooh, I had the best wings of my life up there. Went to Duff's, and I'm a big wing guy, and easily the best wings I've ever had in my life. Like, I'm from Long Island, and I take pride in Long Island food, and I'm always like, oh, the food up here sucks. But the one thing that upstate New York has over Long Island and New York is the wings. No doubt about it. You're doing a great job, Rich. It takes time. Keep trucking, brother. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It is pretty crazy that without the pandemic, I always think like, wow, Jets Media, because Jets Media was a thing. I had the channel, but it forced me to really go all in and make videos. Wow. Thinking back on it, it's really crazy. It really is. Blessing in disguise, Richie. This is an awesome channel. You should be proud. Thank you, George. Appreciate that, man. Excellent. Maybe you should replace that constipated dork, Rich Cimini, as the Jets beat reporter. Hey, Listen, I feel like it's cool that I feel like I'm part of a new generation of Jets reporters where the content creator world, and I'm so thankful to be part of an awesome Jets content creator community. Like all the Jets content creators out there that you guys watch, Jets Central, Jets Talk, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Jake Asman. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm so thankful to be part of that because I feel like the Jets beat with Rich Tamini and Connor Hughes and TJ. They all do a great job. But the other generation of this, sports media world is being a content creator and interacting with the fans and giving like a fan perspective instead of like a beat reporter's perspective. You know what I mean? So it feels good. Duff's or Anchor. I went to both, and both fire. Duff's was the first one I went to, and then I went to Anchor Bar in Buffalo before I went to the Bills game. No, I actually went to a Travis Scott concert in Buffalo before I went there. But yeah, both great spots for wings. Really, Long Island wings are good. So is the pizza. Oh, yeah. Wings on Long Island are phenomenal as well. And of course, the pizza is. But the one thing upstate New York has over us is whatever. If you guys want to see me make wings, I don't know if you're interested. This is totally not Jets related. So some of you be like, yo, why are you talking about this? Who cares? But I thought it was fun, and I made a TikTok of me creating a wing recipe. It was garlic, lemon, pepper wings. And I made a whole video on TikTok of how I made it, my recipe. And I thought it was really fun. If you want to see that video, just go to TikTok and type in my name, and you'll see it. I thought it was funny. Matt O'Leary found that video cool. Matt O'Leary commented saying he wanted them. So I got approval from that guy. Richie, best pizza on Long Island, Little Vincent's, cold cheese in Huntington. Hell yeah. So the unfortunate thing about me, George, that is also food related, that you guys would probably be like, what? I'm gluten-free. Not by choice, but there's a little fun fact about me. We're getting a little personal with my subscribers now all of a sudden. I have celiac, so I am gluten-free. It's not by choice. I got diagnosed with it when I was in 9th grade. So that means I cannot eat gluten. I cannot eat pizza. I cannot eat bread. I cannot eat a lot of things. But I've been gluten-free for 8 years now, and I've been very healthy. So, but yeah, definitely stinks. For sure. But hey, just a little fun fact about myself if you guys want to know something about me outside of my Jets world. Because I am a human outside of this Jets stuff. Which is funny. But yeah, guys, so I've been live for over an hour. It's a lot of fun interacting with you guys. Over 100 people in here. We got a lot of things that we broke down in today's stream. And this is cool. Hell yeah, George. Cauliflower pizza is where it's at. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. This is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun talking some Jets with you guys. We're going to have a nice weekend and relaxing, and then it's back to work. Monday, live stream all day long. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Guys, if you're not already, smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes before the stream does come to an end. We got over 100 people in here with 80 likes. Smash that thumbs up button, baby. Let's do it. What is the chance we get DK? I'm not going to say it's likely because why would the Seahawks go out there and do another trade with us after we fleeced them and kind of ruined them? We'll see. How do you feel JD will handle free agent wide receiver? I think he's going to supplement it, sign a 1-year deal to maybe a DJ Chark guy or maybe a Juju. I don't know. Richie, tell us 5 free agents you would sign. I would sign James Daniels. I would sign Ryan Jensen. I would sign Foyesade Olakun, the linebacker. I would sign either Gerald Everett or a Zach Ertz or a CJ Uzama, one of those tight ends. I would also sign, the interesting market position that we never really talk about is running back. Are we going to sign a running back in free agency? Who knows? Can free agents sign on Monday? So free agent, it's kind of like verbal agreements gets reported. So on Monday, all of a sudden, we're going to get reports that they agreed on a verbal agreement. So we'll get reports, but the legit signings don't start until 4 p.m. on Wednesday. You know? Do you think Seattle will give us DK if we trade back from 4 to 9 and give him a second, fourth, and Mims? I would do this. I would trade from 4 down to 9 and we get DK. And give him a second, fourth, and Mims. I think that's a little too much, actually. Mostert would be a nice signing. I think running back with Tevin Coleman would be best route. Yeah, I think Tevin Coleman re-sign makes sense. There's other guys in the market that's interesting, and we'll see. Oh, man. And you guys see Batman? Any Batman fans in this chat? I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about anything besides the Jets. You feel me? Do we re-sign Moses? I hope we do, but I don't think we will. Ever consider going live from One Jet Drive draft day? That would be cool, and you can make wings at the same time. You want me to go live from One Jet's Drive? I go live last year. If you're new to the channel, Jack, I was live for all 3 days of the draft last year. During first round, during round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I was live during the entire draft, and I'm going to do that again this year. So, I'll be doing that, and I can make wings at the same time. Hey, we'll see. Food and Jets only. All right, food and Jets only talk. Now we're talking about the Batman, though. How's Pattinson as Batman? Pattinson was dope. I loved it. That would change our team so much if we had a good draft and those free agents you mentioned, we could make the playoffs. Yeah, if everything goes our way, we do have a chance. Potential fun at Landon Collins. Yeah, that's a very interesting player that hit the open market that nobody expected. Washington Commanders has released Landon Collins. Now, there's a lot of veteran safeties that we definitely should be interested in. And why not Landon Collins? Why not? Keep your mental health. Keep your hopes in check. Yeah, definitely don't expect the Jets to be getting all the top tier guys, because that's not going to happen. Tight end is a huge need. Good blocking tight ends, major part of the scheme. Yeah, that's why I want Trey McBride so bad. Give me Trey McBride. Binge recommendations. You talking about TV shows now? I'm a big sci-fi guy, so if you need any science fiction series ideas, you come to me. I'm a science fiction nerd, low-key. I'm a big-time movie guru and TV show guru when it comes to that stuff. Another thing you probably don't know about me, but I'm not going to bore you with that type of talk. But if you need any recommendations on sci-fi stuff, I'm the man. By May, I'll be convinced we're a playoff team anyways. That is true, Jets fan too, and I'll be in May making content on why we're a playoff team as well, because I'm going to – no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be saying we're a playoff team unless I actually believe it, and I don't want to set expectations too high so we get disappointed this year. You feel me? Make a movie channel. I actually will be making a movie channel eventually in my life. Don't know when, but it will happen. I wonder if Jabril Peppers, former first-round pick of the Browns, who was traded to the Giants, would be an option. I have a feeling that we're about to sign so many people that we do not expect. Like, there's going to be signings next week that we're going to be like, wow, I didn't expect that guy or that guy. Trust me. A really good sci-fi show on Netflix. If you have HBO Max, that's where all the good sci-fi is. Westworld is one of my favorites. And Raised by Wolves is the most underrated sci-fi show out there. It's up and running. The finale comes out next week. That's on HBO Max. That is just the definition of sci-fi. Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. McBride and who else? When it comes to tight ends, I want Trey McBride. I want Jeremy Ruckert. I want Jelani Woods. I want Greg Dulcich. All those guys I'm down for. Watch Wheel of Time. More high fantasy than sci-fi, but it's pretty dope based off of Robert Jordan's books. Yeah, I saw Wheel of Time. I heard a lot of good things about that. Definitely interested in that. Anything about fantasy I love as well. I personally like prove it deals and free agency seems to always pan out. Yeah, it kind of gives the Jets more flexibility as well when you hand out prove it deals, you know? Than just putting all your money into one or two players that already proved their worth. You know, you want to sign guys that have something to prove. Hey, we got a Raised by Wolves fan. I thought I was the only one watching this show. Hey, you up to date? You watched the new episode yesterday, or are you still catching up? Because I watch that every single Thursday, and that is such an underrated show, man. Such an underrated show. Sci-fi at its peak, in my eyes. So yeah, guys, been live for almost over an hour and a half. No, just about an hour and a half, and we talked a lot about the Jets. How Woody Johnson is expected to be a big-time spender. We got a lot of money, according to Mike Garafolo. So, yeah, it's fun going live, interacting with you guys. I'll go live for a couple more minutes to talk about some stuff that you guys want me to get into. We talk about not even some Jet stuff as well. We talked about some food, talked about some movies, some shows. It's good to talk some other stuff outside of the Jets. Jets could get Bobby Swags. I'm down. I'm down. Top all-time shows. I don't want to bore everybody with this show talk, to be honest. I see the viewers going down. People are like, yo, why is Richie talking about science fiction shows on a Jet stream? What is he doing? My apologies. I've been live for over an hour, and I'm running out of Jets-related stuff to talk about. I'm a Browns fan, but I root for the Jets. That's sick. Appreciate that. Shout out to this Cleveland Browns fan that shows Jets some love. Hell yeah. Saw all those shows on HBO. Give me a deep dive no one heard of. Yeah. Go watch Raised by Wolves or Westworld if you're into sci-fi. For sure. I go heavy on offensive line and free agency and get defensive studs with 2 first-round picks. Then, next to use on offensive studs, into Raised by Wolves, waiting till all episodes of Season 2, then binge watch. Oh, you haven't started Season 2 yet. I just watched the finales next week, so I would start now. And boy, oh boy, is it absolutely insane what happens at the end of Season 2, bro. You're definitely going to love it. If you like Season 1, you'll love Season 2. I'm like nerding out from it last night. I'm texting my friend. I'm like, yo, did you see that? Because I don't know what's happening. Well, I do know what's happening, but I'm mind blown. And that stuff is amazing. I wish I can go live talking about that stuff, to be honest, and getting into a community about everyone watching that show because it's so good. But yeah, guys, so if we can get to 100 likes before the stream ends, that would be dope. We got 92 likes, so smash that thumbs up button if you're not already. It means a lot to the channel. And yeah, we were live for over an hour. This is a lot of fun. What did the Jets do with Elijah Riley? What does it mean they exercise their option? I think I think that means he's coming back next year, if I'm not mistaken. Jets could draft C.J. Stroud in 2 years if Zach Wilson does not work out. Hey man, I know you're a Browns fan, but we're not hoping this happens. We're hoping Zach is the guy. You feel me? Thanks for answering my questions. You rock. You rock, Dark Friend. Enjoy Raised by Wolves. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. In 1980, Jets ended up 4-12. We won our last game, so the Giants got to draft Lawrence Taylor. We got Freeland McNeil, but still made the playoffs in 1981. So playoffs next year are a real deal. You never know, Mike. Never know. I like this. I like hearing some 80s Jets talk because obviously I was not alive during it, so I'm not really that educated in it. But I love hearing about it. What do you think Jets going to be like what do you think the draft is going to be like for the Jets this year? I think the Jets are going to be very aggressive in the draft, moving up and down all over the place. And after free agency, I can answer this question with more confidence because it's really hard to answer this without seeing what we go about in free agency. But I think edge rusher in the first round is definitely going to be a pick. Do you expect a big signing at safety now that we re-signed Joyner? I don't know. I don't know if they re-signed Joyner for the idea of him being the starter or him being a depth piece. So I don't think it's off the board. I think that Connor Hughes reported that this will not stop the Jets being aggressive in getting a big-time safety in the open market. So we will see. But we'll see, man. I'm excited. So how good is Carter going to be this season? 1,000 easy or no? If Michael Carter stays healthy for all games, 17 games, he's an 1,000-yard runner. I can say that with confidence. I think he's a 1,500-yard guy at the line of scrimmage. Potentially 17, because if you look at what he did, only thing that held him back was injuries and getting in tune. So, yes. They could go O-line, though. Exactly. For sure. I think offensive line is going to be a priority in free agency because we do have young guys in the draft that we already got in Becton and ABT. So if we do supplement the O-line in free agency, I think that offensive line is definitely going to be on the table. We prioritize that position above anything else. I really hope the Jets address and find some linebackers that will not freeze like deer in the headlights when a bubble screen comes their way. You and me both. You and me both. All right, guys. Who wants to be the lucky man to give me my 100th like? I know a bunch of you guys already hit it, but we're one away from 100. We're one away. Let's hit that, and then I'm probably going to end the stream here. 100 likes. Thank you for whoever that 100th like was. You're a beast. I appreciate you. So that's going to wrap up the stream, guys. Hey, it was this guy, the Browns fan. Appreciate you to being the 100th like. So that's going to wrap up the stream. We went live to talk about the Jets potentially being aggressive in the free agent market. We have a lot of money to spend. So we will see if that is the case. And stay tuned for more content, guys. I'll be going live next week during free agency, talking about all the NFL news, talking about all the Jets news. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Stay tuned for more Jets content. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new. And let's go Jets. And I'll catch you guys in my next video or stream. Any final words you guys have for me, let me know. And that's going to end it for the stream. Been live for an hour and a half sitting in this chair, man. Got to get some stretching going. Ugh. Wow. Let's take a collective hydration chug. There we go. Hydrated as always. Great job, Richie. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for everybody tuning in. And catch you guys next time. Peace.